feel safe enough to close your eyes. And then you apply this technique of diving, of transcending thoughts. And you do that 15, 20 minutes twice a day, morning and afternoon. Welcome to this morning intention meditation. And it's so simple, so easy that anyone can learn, even children can learn this technique of transcendental meditation and be able to be comfortable within themselves. Welcome, everyone. I see you and I appreciate you. Um, I simply don't know why I do not see myself while I'm speaking, so I hope you can actually hear me for this meditation. And we will be doing that today. Why do we meditate? We meditate so that we can be fully ourselves when we go into action. Meditation is for action. By centering ourselves, by retiring within ourselves, we strengthen our foundation, our core, and this allows us to move about the world in an unshakable manner. We become unshakable no matter what our environment is. And that begins with us centering ourselves. This is why we meditate. We meditate so that we are fully ourselves, so that we have all the resources, the power, the energy, the clarity, the intelligence to go into action. And that makes a huge difference in our everyday life. Not only does it enhance our body, our physical health, it also enhances our mental health, where we get this beautiful, we get to integrate our entire brain, where we get to use our brain in a much more efficient manner. And our physical body, the immune system is boosted and is so much more efficient in healing itself, in producing the energy it needs to accomplish all your goals, all the things you desire to do. You desire to do that. You need to be centered. You need to be strong. You need to be energized. You need to be clear minded to think through your your goals and to apply the different tactics and strategies to get to your goals. All that, you can produce all that in 20 minutes, morning and afternoon, with this simple technique that allows you to simply be. For the technique, you don't need any special prop. You simply need to sit down comfortably somewhere. The interesting thing is, you can practice transcendental meditation in the middle of an outdoor market full of people going around, talks and so forth, simply because you can, if you can have a thought, then you can meditate. If you can have a thought, then you can transcend. The only thing is, we ask you to be in a safe space where you can actually close your eyes, and also in a space we can have children, family members around. If we are outdoor, in a public setting, yeah, other people around, simply to make sure that no one is physically bumping into you, like touching you, because that will take you out of your transcendence and back into the surface. And we want to transcend to go very deep. So if you have small children, this is a time to really figure out how they could be in another room while you are meditating for 20 minutes. That would be the only requirement, not to be touched, because that will take you out of your transcendence and back to the surface level. And we want to go deep because it's by going deep that we get rid of stress and tension, and that our body gains profound rest, calm, and is able to come out with all the qualities of creative intelligence, all the quality of the field of creative intelligence, of the unified field, as the physicists call it. So, welcome to this morning intention meditation. You may wonder if how does one learn to meditate? The technique of transcendental meditation is so subtle that it actually requires for you to learn in person with a certified transcendental meditation teacher. I am one. My name is Kabuika, and I am a certified transcendental meditation teacher. However, depending on where you are in the world, if you send me a DM, I can connect you with someone, a teacher who is near you, a center, transcendental meditation center near where you are, so that you can learn more and meet face to face, so you can learn this beautiful, easy, natural technique, which is absolutely effortless. And that's the beauty of it. It is effortless. So, if you do not know the technique of transcendental meditation yet, you can simply sit in silence. There are some benefits to it. It won't be as intensive and profound as when you transcend, but it already gives you this physical experience of being able to be sitting. Those who transcend by simply using, and anyone who learned the technique transcends from the very first session. You feel the benefit from the very first time. And and you might be wondering why, and I did mention it earlier and I'll repeat it again. Why would you meditate? You're not that kind of person. You can't sit for 5 minutes. And yet, by meditating, everyone can practice the technique. Absolutely everyone. Everyone, including children, can learn to meditate because it is so easy. You're not forcing anything, it's effortless. It's where the mind wants to go anyway. So you're allowing, you're guiding your mind to go to this place that is so natural and feelings comfortable for the brain, for the mind to be in. And and that's why it's so easy, because the mind naturally want to be in a state, in a place where it's not pulled in different directions by different thoughts. It's actually, you get to transcend all thoughts, and all the, as the thoughts disappears, you, the mind is finally at peace and enjoying that state, absolutely enjoying that state. So, as the mind transcends, The thoughts are so you can imagine an ocean, the surface of the ocean, are the waves and the wind and the things going, so much activity. And you can imagine yourself like a ball. This is how we actually can feel sometimes. You can imagine yourself as a ball on top of the waves of an ocean. You're constantly being pushed around by this breeze and that wind and so forth. It's really not peaceful at all. But that same ocean has a depth, and by diving deep, the ocean becomes stable, silent, strong, unshakable. We gain the very same qualities by transcending, by taking our mind from that surface level that is full of activities and all kind of emotions, and we dive deep, taking the mind to a state where you have where the thoughts become more and more subtle, more and more subtle, more and more subtle, more and more subtle, until the field where there is no thoughts. When your brain, when your mind has no thoughts, this is when the physical body can gain profound rest. The rest is so profound, it is even more profound than 8 hours of sleep at night. It doesn't mean that we're exchanging one for the other, but to simply show you how, in just a matter of a few minutes, you can gain that profound rest. It beats any catnap technique that we may have. So, by gaining this profound rest, we get the body automatically, it's as if there was no space for two things. As the body gains profound rest, it automatically sheds out stress and tension. Automatically. So you have this increase in rest, and the stress and tension are eliminated. This brings the, and as you come out of meditation, the body, you realize that your mind has a thought. And actually, your first thought might be, oh, I didn't, I didn't have a thought before. That might be your first thought, realizing you weren't thinking at all before. So you're coming out back to the surface of this ocean. And basically, with transcendental meditation, the techniques, you're constantly doing that circle of being at the surface, diving in deep into the field of creative intelligence, and coming out to the surface and diving in. Each time you come out to the surface, you actually have the qualities of that depth of the ocean, of the depth of the field of creative intelligence. You bring those qualities with you. You bring the qualities of energy, intelligence, clarity of the mind, confidence, feeling totally rested. All those qualities, you bring them with you. And as you emerge out of the meditation, you emerge with those qualities and you go into activities with those qualities. This is why when you perform anything after you have practiced regularly transcendental meditation, you are so much more efficient in anything you do in life. And it goes beyond just efficiency of the task. It also influences your health. Your health is much more improved. Your your relationships improve, whether they are professional relationships or personal relationships. They tremendously improve as you feel better, more balanced, more stable, confident, stronger, healthier. Your relationships also improve because your mindset has improved, your mental health has improved as well. It all begins with 20 minutes in the morning and in the afternoon. So, we'll do a session of meditation now. And again, if you don't know yet the technique of transcendental meditation, but you would like to learn, that is wonderful. Send me a DM and I'll be able to send you some information of where you can learn. The practice of this technique is only the first step. And there's so much, and then it's the first step that clears away the stress and tension we might have. Clear up our brain, our mind, so we can think. Give us the energy so we have energy to do the things that we want to do. This is the foundation of living fully. And once you have that foundation, then you can add on this beautiful, the different techniques and tools and resources that are available to maximize any aspect of your life where you have your goals focused on. It all begins first with you. So we start with that base, and that's what we talk about on Tuesdays and Thursday morning. And then after that, we add on the techniques and codes of life and wealth to build, to accomplish our goals, whether it's in the aspect of relationships or the aspect of finances or the aspect of health. All those are enhanced having different techniques, but all of them begins with a base, and that is by using this technique of transcendental meditation and practicing it on a regular basis, 20 minutes, morning and afternoon. And this is what is the foundation that we need. So find a space where you can sit comfortably. We'll be doing a session of transcendental meditation. If you don't know the technique yet, send me a DM. I can show you where you can learn that. It has to be learned and from a certified transcendental meditation teacher. And then, but if you don't know the technique today, then you can always sit in silence. It's a beginning. So also, you have make sure you are in a safe space where you can close your eyes. If you're driving, that won't be the moment to to meditate or close your eyes. You'll have to keep your eyes open, and that's a different state. But you can do the silence part. So sit comfortably and close your eyes. and breathe. And breathe. For those who know the technique of transcendental meditation, you can start using the technique as you know. Silence and then 30 seconds, about 30 seconds, and then you dive. You start your technique. For those who do not know the technique of transcendental meditation yet, you can simply close your eyes and do a silent session. Don't mind the time. I'll be checking on that. For those joining us now, we're in the middle of a meditation session where we practice transcendental meditation, or you can simply practice the silence session. meditation silence. Take a few minutes before opening the eyes. Now slowly open the eyes, very slowly. Take a minute or so. When your eyelids are heavy, take even longer to open the eyes. You've dived deep. You may not feel that way, but you have. So it's important to come out slowly back to the surface. You can even open your eye, but keeping them downcast for a few seconds. So, this is how you meditate for 20 minutes twice a day, morning and afternoon. It is an easy and natural technique that anyone can learn. Even children practice this technique, have learned and practice this technique. By practicing this technique on a regular basis, morning and afternoon, we boost our activity. We practice the technique in the morning before going into activity, and then we practice it after activity in the afternoon or early evening. It allows us to be ready for action as we strengthen ourselves. We eliminate stress and tension. We gain profound rest. We have this incredible opportunity of tapping into the unified field, the field of creative intelligence, and using, emerging with all the qualities from the field of creative intelligence. More than 700 research studies have been done on this technique, on this one technique of transcendental meditation, and really showing the amazing impact and benefits on the physical health, on the mental health, on the social aspect, the social behavior of relationships being enhanced, and also the benefit and influence on the physical environment as well. Everything emerging from you as you connect yourself, you dive deep beyond all thoughts in the field of creative intelligence, and you immerse full of qualities that allow you to be powerfully you. That is why we meditate. We practice the technique of transcendental meditation so that we can be ourselves, but much more powerfully, so that we can go into activity and be more effective, more efficient, more impactful. This is the goal of transcending, of practicing transcendental meditation. This is the goal of meditating. Welcome. Welcome to this morning intention meditation session. We emerge out of all this with so much more energy that we go into activity with that energy. Imagine yourself when you are very tired and then you have to do a task, even when the task is difficult, because you are tired, the fatigue influences what you can do and impedes it actually. So, by transcending, by practicing transcendental meditation, we get rid of that veil that impedes things. We are clearly ourselves, much more efficient energy wise, clarity of the mind, much more intelligent. Yes, that too has been studied scientifically and proven that the people who practice regularly transcendental meditation, their IQ has increased over a period of time. Isn't that beautiful? The IQ increase, the clarity of the mind is much more enhanced. A person can has that enhanced capacity of being able to understand clearly the entire situation and at the same time has the capacity to focus on details. This allows for this person to problem solve anything that is in front of her in a much more efficient and faster way. And in addition to that, you become so much more comfortable within yourself as you are calm. All the neuroses, illnesses, anxiety, all that fall away as the calm grows, the peace, the inner peace grows. One can be peaceful inside, even in the middle of chaos. One of the technique of transcendental meditation is one of the most effective technique to cure, to heal from PTSD. Hundreds of people in the eastern part of Congo in a war zone have learned transcendental meditation. Actually, thousands. I I'd forgotten the last numbers are constantly increasing. Thousands of people have learned transcendental meditation and they practice the technique in the middle of a war zone with bullets flying left and right. They are able to ground themselves, to feel totally aligned and centered and confident and unshakable, even in the middle of a war zone, because by practicing the technique, they are growing their inner strength, their inner peace, their confidence, and are literally unshakable as a result. It is such a simple, natural technique that is practiced 20 minutes in the morning and in the afternoon. It's a game changer. Several doctors, medical doctors, recommend the technique of transcendental meditation to their patients who are not able to sleep well, they have insomnia, they have a hard time sleeping, and they have migraines on a regular basis. So by simply practicing the technique, research studies have shown that the migraines are eliminated and the patient can sleep again at night. So it's such a beautiful, natural way to rebalance one's life so that you are effective into activities in during the day when depending on your schedule, of course. If you're working a night shift, then during the night because that's when you work. So whenever it's time for you to go into activity, then you are ready for it because you're well rested, your body is centered and aligned and balanced. You're able to sleep to in order to go before going into activity. You're able to think straight as you no longer have migraines and any other discomfort. You're able to live fully because you are fully you. That makes a huge difference in one's life. We meditate in order to go into action. Let's talk about the behaviors. So, when you're healthy, you feel rested, you are not stressed. Automatically, that influences the way you act and behave. You will behave in a much more calmer manner because you are calm inside, and you actually see the good of the people around you as well because you feel good inside. And so quite a few research studies were done on to see that what were the effect of transcendental meditation on behavior. So there was this research studies done in a prison, a maximum security prison, where they taught a group of prisoner the technique of transcendental meditation. And then they compared with another group that didn't learn the technique but will sit silently at the same time as the group that was practicing transcendental meditation. And then over a certain period of time, they observed how they behaved, and the groups of folks who had practiced regularly transcendental meditation, they realized that the level of aggressivity had decreased tremendously among those practicing the technique of transcendental meditation compared to those who were simply did, did not learn. So it automatically influences one's behavior. One of my, I remember a bishop, religious leader, clergy in a church who had a whole team of pastors. And he said before he learned transcendental meditation, before he learned to meditate, he and his team at work will constantly be fighting to do anything to accomplish a project for the church. Welcome, hey, welcome to this session of morning intention meditation. We had a wonderful meditation, and now we are talking about the benefits of meditating, of practicing transcendental meditation. And so, this bishop, before they learn, he and his team, before they learn transcendental meditation, they will be fighting all the time. He said, when we had money, a budget for a project, but we will be fighting to even figure out what to do with the money. And then the whole team learned transcendental meditation, he and the pastors that he was working with. And right away, he could tell a difference. Now, he said, when we pract- now when we have a project and we have funding for the project, we come together, and instead of arguing, we actually work together to quickly find what to do, what how to define and model this project. So the team was working in a much more coordinated way, and in a way that allowed them to truly be effective in their work. And it was such a much more pleasant way of working, of developing professional relationships when they were all agreeing, coming together, agreeing on project and working together for the accomplishment of that project. He said that was the biggest difference he saw right away when he started to practice transcendental meditation. The interesting thing is what his wife noticed. His wife noticed that he was different when he came home at night after work. And after a while, she asked him, "What is it that you're doing that is different? And whatever it is, I want to learn it too." Imagine that when you're at work, you have better professional relationships. You are calm inside. You are able to work without straining yourself because you maintain this composure. You are unshakable. Then after work, you go home and you have this, and in the afternoon, you have the second session where you can practice transcendental meditation and renew, re energize yourself and remove stress because you've gained this profound rest inside. So when you come home rested, you come home totally open and receptive to your loved ones. Your personal relationships improve as the people around you notice right away that it is a pleasure to be around you. They notice that right away without even you saying a word. That's why the wife of the bishop said, "I want to learn whatever it is that you're doing because it's bringing you peace and I want to experience the same thing as well." Welcome. And the whole household, the wife, the children, the grandchildren, it was a full household, multi generational household. They all learn the technique of transcendental meditation. The technique is so easy and natural that anyone can learn, including children as well. Actually, when you are 10 years old and up, you learn the exact same way as adults. When you are younger than 10 years old, even younger children, toddlers can learn also. They also have anxiety and things to manage. It helps them manage all that so much better because they also grow their inner peace. And so the technique for the children is very cute and the little children, it's very cute and it's slightly different. This one because of their bodies, of the way they are, the children, their meditation is actually walking meditation. It's quite beautiful to see children of all ages, little ones, toddler ones, walking and meditating and really enjoying themselves doing that. And they feel good by doing that as well. My name is Kabuika. I'm a certified transcendental meditation teacher. That is why I really want to share this with people so that they can grow their inner health, inner inner peace, inner calmness, and be wherever they are in the world, feeling unshakable. You can learn transcendental meditation, the technique, anywhere you are in the world. I happen to be in the US right now, but you can learn it and send me a DM if you're interested in learning. I highly recommend it. And I'll simply put you in touch with certified teachers near you. It's you learn in person because the technique is so subtle, easy, natural, and effortless. So by learning in person, you make sure that you are practicing it in an effortless manner. That is how easy and natural the technique is, and anyone can learn. If you have any questions, send me a DM. I'll be happy to answer. Otherwise, I bid you farewell. Thank you so much for joining me this morning for this session of morning intention meditation slash silence session for those who don't know the technique yet. I hope I wish you a beautiful day full of energy, ready to tackle your day's activities. And we'll see each other, I hope, next time. So we do this meditation every Tuesdays and Thursday morning, starting around 8:30 Eastern Time in the morning. Thank you. Oh, I just have to do, oops, little. Thank you so much for joining me. Has been a pleasure. Take care. Bye.